One of the least expected emotions many expats experience is guilt. Guilt for a life they actually wanted. Almost nobody talks about it openly, while many do carry it with them in silence. Most conversations about moving abroad focus on the adventurous parts. People say things like, "You're so lucky," and very often that's so true. Yet guilt still shows up for many people who decide to live abroad, even if we don't like to admit it. This guilt can take many forms, and I'll give you a few examples you may recognize. For example, guilt toward parents who are getting older while you're far away. Or guilt toward friends whose lives you're no longer part of, or at least not in the same everyday way. Sometimes it's guilt toward your children, perhaps around the idea that their existing stability in life will be disrupted by your choices to move away from that stability. I recently spoke to someone who moved abroad while his adult children stayed in the country where they had grown up. What he described gave me a punch in the gut. He said that alongside the excitement of building a new life that was profound and beyond anything he had ever even dared to imagine, there was also this constant awareness of what the move had cost for other people. Of course, there's the impactful aspect of missing very big life events like weddings and births and people passing away, but also missing the countless ordinary moments that holds families together without being so big or dramatic in and by themselves. The simple things that binds us in being part of each other's daily lives. He watched his children build lives that no longer naturally included him in the same way. They would sometimes also make assumptions about him not being available anymore to be part of their life. He was deeply affected by the awareness that this decision, a decision that brought him opportunities and joy beyond imagination, making him a better person, also cost his children something they never chose to lose. And those unintended effects are truly hard to deal with. There's also another form of guilt that often surprises people, and that's guilt for being happy abroad or for adapting faster than you expected. It could also be guilt about building a life that feels really good while people back home might still be struggling or missing you. Now, holding two apparently contrasting emotions feels confusing to us. Yet the nature of relocation means that it is usually two things at the same time. It is a gain, and a big one too. And it is also a loss in significant ways. It is challenging and confusing to be swinging between these two very different experiences. And there's actually a whole body of research around this in psychology called emotional ambivalence. This is the experience of holding positive and negative emotions toward the same situation at the same time. This is found to be uncomfortable for two big reasons. One is cognitive load. Contradictory feelings require the brain to maintain two opposing evaluations simultaneously. It simply takes more mental work than holding one clear position. Secondly, it's uncomfortable because of decision pressure. Ambivalence interferes with our ability to feel certain about decisions. And humans strongly prefer feeling that our choices are coherent and justified. And because of this, people often try to resolve ambivalence by emphasizing one side of the experience, or maybe suppressing the other side of it, or reframing the situation to make it feel internally consistent again. Maybe you've also heard of a term before that is also very closely related to this, a concept called cognitive dissonance. This occurs when two beliefs, emotions, or behaviors conflict with each other. And we try to fix that with similar quote unquote solutions, as I just mentioned. So on the one hand, you feel grateful for a life that you're building or the opportunity that you've got. And on the other hand, there's this emotional tension of loss and guilt sitting underneath it. We feel that these two feelings cannot really exist at the same time, and if they do, that this should be resolved as quickly as possible to ease the discomfort. But that's not even the entire story. For many people, this emotional ambivalence and cognitive dissonance are not the hardest part. What makes it even harder is what conclusions we draw from having these emotions and thoughts. Because if I feel guilty, does that mean I made the wrong choice to move? If I feel happy abroad, does that mean I'm forgetting about and abandoning people back home? And what does that say about me as a person? If my life here is expanding and I enjoy it, but others are having a hard time with me having left, what does that say about me? I think you can feel how conflicting these thoughts and emotions are, and very quickly, the emotion itself starts to feel almost forbidden, like it's evidence that something about the situation or about us is very wrong, that it says something about us being a good parent, child, partner, or friend. And that goes much deeper than just the discomfort of having contrasting emotions, and that already was hard. Now it suddenly also says something about who we are, posing a form of an identity threat. Many people try to ignore these feelings or push them away, telling themselves that they shouldn't feel this way, especially because of the thought, well, I chose this life after all, and if there's consequences, that is on me, and I'll just have to deal with that. I should just be grateful for what I have and focus on the opportunities instead. The only problem with that is, this is not how emotions work. We can't just say to them, you're not welcome, and send them out the door. It's a bit like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can push it down for a while, but the pressure is still there, and eventually it will probably just pop up somewhere else. When we try to push away an emotion, often it becomes much louder to try and get your attention, or it does this by resurfacing in another form. This is why creating space for these emotions is a much healthier approach, even though it's not comfortable. That doesn't need to mean anything dramatic, by the way. You don't have to go dwell into negativity or anything like that. That wouldn't be healthy or realistic either. What is helpful, though, is to create a space where you can explore where you feel guilt or other negative emotions, even if there's also a lot of positive sides, because neither have to rule each other out. And if it feels uncomfortable to experience them both, then it's just that. It's uncomfortable for a bit, and that's okay. You don't have to push that away either. It really helps to write down for yourself what the thoughts are that are related to this experience of guilt. And nobody needs to ever read this or see this. Try and approach it, though, with a sense of curiosity, as if you're a field observer in the nature of your own mind, without judgment about it and without any conclusions about what it means. You're not writing a research paper. You're now simply observing what you think and feel. And then once you've done that, allow yourself to look at what you wrote and to let it exist alongside the positive emotions. Giving the guilt a space to express itself, to give it a voice through your writing like that, is often already a large chunk of what is needed to release the pressure or burden of it having to be suppressed or ignored the entire time. The person I mentioned earlier eventually described it in a way I think captures it beautifully. He said, the guilt and the joy are not opposites, they're roommates. You don't need to become besties with the guilt or any other negative feeling. All it is asking of you to do is to see it as just another resident of your mind. And once you say hi to it again, it will not need to jump for attention as much anymore. Will that observing and naming it solve everything? Sometimes. If you feel it doesn't, don't keep carrying this alone. It's good to ask for support with this from people who can understand what you're dealing with. Even speaking with someone you trust or in a similar situation can already make a big difference. There are also many professionals who can support you with working through your emotions. Now, I don't know what's available for you locally, so feel free if this stirred something in you to reach out to me. Being real with every contrasting aspect of what's happening in expat life can be challenging, but it also creates an amazing freedom to be able to live more consciously and aware of all the different elements that are real, more alive, more fully present. This is what I call a life above the common. With the specific and unique challenges that expat life poses, it is very helpful to have resources beyond those that are giving generic insights and advice. This is why this all matters so much to me. I know from my own experience that most tools and advice out there don't really match the specific challenges that this lifestyle comes with. This is one of the main reasons I decided to build my coaching work around expats and expat partners. If we haven't met yet, I'm Eva, identity and life design coach. I'm using my degree in psychology, my training and certifications in neuroscience and behavior, combined with my own lived experience of expat life to create a space where our full experience can exist without needing to push anything away, without needing to filter any of it. And being real is liberating and allows us to find a way forward much easier and faster. This is why I keep inviting people in my videos to be completely real. If you've seen any of them before, you probably heard me say it, and I'm extending that invitation right here too. If you're an expat or an expat partner ready to get more real, I created the Expat Partner Impact Consult, or EPIC for short, exactly for you. You can book it through the link near this video right now. Inside this conversation, we look at how expat life is currently affecting you. It's a focused conversation designed to help you understand your situation more clearly and to explore what your next best step could be. The only investment I ask of you is your time and your honesty. I want you to be able to be real in this space, so we can look at what is actually going on without needing to push any thoughts or emotions away, or without having us having to filter the good and the difficult. And if you're wondering why I'm not asking money for this epic, let me get super real here with you too. For some people, the consult will make them feel much lighter after this session already, providing them with enough clarity and tools for them at that time. For other people, they will experience firsthand how valuable it is to work with someone who knows what it's like, who can offer professional support, and they immediately feel how much of a difference that makes for them. And those people will ask me to continue working with them. Either way, that is always your choice, and I hate hard sales calls probably just as much as you do, so I'm not looking to convince anyone who isn't convinced already after connecting together and experiencing that value firsthand. Regardless of if people choose to continue working with me or not, with providing the epic, I'm already able to express my mission here, helping expats and their partners create a more real and comprehensive life for themselves. And I'm happy to even be more transparent with you and give you insight on what the strategy is here. It's rather simple. Just like many companies give you the opportunity to find out for yourself how good of a fit their product or service is with a free trial or tier or something, I work the same way. I'm convinced that the Epic session alone will be of huge value for you. You can find the link to book your Epic near this video, and I highly recommend for you to take this opportunity. We both have absolutely nothing to lose here and everything to gain. And so I'm so looking forward to meeting you personally and seeing you and having a real conversation with you right here in this space. You'll be meeting me here. I can't wait. And you know what else can't wait? Your joy in life. Don't accidentally let it just sit on a shelf waiting for the right time or circumstance or moment for it to come back. Life is never meant to be put on a shelf, waiting to be lived again someday. Click that link to book your Epic session with me now, because you deserve to live, love, and lead fully, no matter where you are or for how long.